Hello everyone, this is Rishabh Kotyal and welcome to the another video of your Azure interview question series. So today we are going to talk about the few questions that could be asked to you on the Azure interview. So we'll be going ahead and rather than giving you very conventional, traditional, by the book answer, I will try to explain those concepts in layman term. I will not be giving the some answer that you are sitting on the interview and you're battling those very point to point specific bookish definition. No, I will be just showing you thing around. I will be just trying to explain those concepts. If you got those concepts, that's good. I hope you will be learning a lot of things with us. So let's just start with this Azure interview question series. This is Rishabh Kotyal, your Azure buddy, and don't forget to click subscribe, like this particular channel, which is our InfosecTrain. We'll be bringing more good technical videos for you guys. So let's just start today's session. Hello everyone, this is Rishabh Kotyal, your Azure Cloud Buddy. In today's video, we will be discussing about our Azure interview questions, and this whole series is regarding your Azure interview questions. So we'll be keep discussing what kind of the questions are being asked, what you can answer, or what particular concept are going to be there in the interview exam. So we'll be discussing whole thing that what are the questions, what will be these your reference answers, and I will try to explain those content, those content that is there and what those points actually are. So the guys who are already familiar with me, I am delivering the training on the cloud and security. So I am working as a cybersecurity analyst and secure cloud architect with the InfosecTrain. And we today are going to discuss few of the Azure interview questions. So without any further ado, let's just start with your Azure interview question series. So one of the very first question that you will be getting is going to be like, how will you define any Azure administration? Okay, mostly you will be getting the job as the Azure administrator. So there is a different rules for the Azure administration. So that will be a whole other question, but how will you define any Azure administration? So when we are talking about the Azure administrations, so the reference answer for this would be that an Azure administrator is going to be liable for executing, observing, and keeping Microsoft Azure solution and incorporate major service related to compute, storage, network, and security. Now, simply in simple term, as an Azure administrator, my responsibility would be how I'm going to implement a particular requirement that my organization is having. If I have implemented that particular requirement, that how should be the network infrastructure, how the devices, different solutions should be deployed there, and if they are deployed, how I'm going to monitor them, then maintain them. Okay, and we will be mostly dealing with the different compute, storage, network, and security services. Like in compute, what we have the VMs, we have the containers, we have Kubernetes. So you should be having the idea regarding them. Web application, then different type of storages, backups. Okay, how to deploy network related services. Maybe if you want to deploy a load balancer or an application gateway front door service. So how to deal with them. Okay, that is going to be there. Okay. And you should be familiar with it. I would say my recommendation personally would be that an Azure administrator can also manage some of the Azure identities and governance part. Okay, and implement different, implement and even manage the storage solutions, different kind of, right? So those kind of the things are going to fall under the your Azure administration. Okay, so that was the very first question. Then second would be your, what is Azure Active Directory and how it is related to the subscription? Okay, now this is a very good question. And guys, I do have a habit of drawing something onto these slides. So yes, So sometime I could be drawing some things onto these slides. Yeah. So I'll be explaining with that as well. So first of all, what is Azure Active Directory? And second part, how it is related to the subscription. So if anyone who has been in my session, so we generally discuss about this, that what is the relationship between both, your Active Directory and the subscription. So once again, when I'm talking about the Azure Active Directory, so first of all, you should be familiar with the AD, right? Which is Active Directory. Okay. And how I define Active Directory is I always say that your Active Directory ADs are kind of a database, which is the collection of different identities. Identities could be related to your user, to your device, to your application, because your devices and application also require the particular identity. So simply, I usually say that an Active Directory is kind of a database which is going to collect your, as having a database which is going to have your different identities related to users, devices, and application. With that, it will be also helpful for your identity and access management operations. Okay. So, related to the roles, creating the groups, okay, putting, different users into the group, then assigning them the roles, the permission, all that would be helpful with the within the Azure the normal Active Directories. And when I'm adding Azure to any Active Directory, it is simply becoming, okay, let me just take you to the answer, that the Active Directory is going to become Azure Active Directory, and in some time you will be seeing it as the AAD. So Azure Active Directory is cloud-based identity and access management service, which will be helping you to manage different Azure resources. Now, second part of this question is saying that how it is related to the your subscription. So when I'm talking about the subscription, an Azure Active Directory has one-to-many relationship with the subscription. An Azure subscription can only trust a single Active Directory, but multiple subscription can be associated with the single Azure Active Directory instance. Now, in this part, to understand this one, what I am going to share, simply that there is your one Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, and this is having identity for different people. Like it is having the identity for Jane Doe, it is having the identity for John Doe. They were using one device which was based on the Windows 10 identity for that, an application like app one, collection of different things, maybe some groups, some service principals, service identities. Okay, so different kind of rules and permission all are here. Now, when I'm talking about a directory and a subscription, so there could be, let's say, the three different subscription for the an organization. Like one is for the development environment, okay, for the developers. So there will be your development department, one for the testing, and one for the your production, like three different subscription. So when I'm talking about the relationship, so between a subscription, these are the subscriptions. So all of them can be trusting this one Active Directory. And what it means, these are the three, and this also is trusting the this Active Directory means whenever they need to say that they want to authenticate a user. Let's say that a user want to create a VM, and that VM is going to be charged against this subscription, which is the development. And so first, when a user want to create this VM, at that time the identity will be authenticated for or Azure, sorry, your Azure will be authenticating that user, that whether that user is actually having the permissions or not to create a VM. So what or where it will be looking for the identity in this Active Directory. So this subscription is having only one-to-one relationship with the Active Directory. Why? An Active Directory can have one-to-many relationship with the subscription. Means one identity, one Active Directory, one Azure Active Directory can be trusted by multiple subscription. Why?
Subscription will be trusting one Active Directory at a time. So this is the relationship between the Azure Active Directory and the Azure Subscription. Okay, I hope you guys understand this one. Let's just move ahead and let's just talk about the next question. So next question is going to be your define your Azure subscription. So when we are defining the Azure subscription, already I give you a bit of hint in the last question as well, that what is going to be your Azure subscription. And this is, if you will be asking me, I will be saying that this is the first thing that you are going to require if you want to use your Azure services. And why it is going to be the first thing that you require, because Azure is not Microsoft's Azure. It is not kind of a charitable trust who is going to provide you the service for free. So whatever you are doing in the particular Azure, Microsoft Azure, they are going to charge you for that. You want their service, you have to pay for them. And how they are going to keep track of how much they should be charging you, they should be keeping track with the help of your Azure subscription. Okay, now the Azure subscription is going to be a kind of a logical arrangement between your organization, or if you have your personal account, between you and the Microsoft Azure, so that it can understand that how it should be charging you for the different services that you are using. And if you will read the reference answer, it is all upfront that it is talking about that this is a logical arrangement under which you can access the Azure resources. It accommodate the information about the resources like VM, database, and more. When you create an Azure resource like the VM, you distinguish it from the subscription it belongs to. So just like last time, as I was explaining the AD as well, let's say that you have one subscription, which is, let's say, pay as you go. You are having it for the DevOps team, right? And in this one, what will be happening? Whenever, let's say that they required a web app to launch, with that they required a SQL database to launch, right? So how they will be knowing that these resources, they will be running on the Microsoft Azure data center using their energy network, and they want to make profit from this one. So how they are going to say that how much they will be charging you. So these resources, whenever you are launching these or any new resource, they are always charged against the particular subscription. They are created against the subscription. So if you have noticed, whenever you create a resource, there is always, I think, first line which is saying that you select your use subscription. Like if you have more than once, and might there is the different teams, so under which particular subscription it should be charged. So this Azure subscription, it actually denotes your billing entity and
as okay. So second thing is, it is the kind of the container which will be holding for very specific, as your users, and it will be simply denoting that your different monthly charges, billing cycles, billing methodology, how you are paying them. So all that is going to be the part of the subscription. It is just like your Azure Azure subscription, like just Netflix subscription or Disney Plus subscription that you are subscribing for, right? Like uh, what services, what movies you can see. And usually, if you don't have the subscription, they are not going to allow you to go ahead and work with or watch any movie. They are not going to let you do that. You require a subscription for that. So this is on the same level, right? So this is your question, that what is or define as your subscription. I hope you understand the concept of the subscription. Now let's just go to the that can your organization have more than one directory? And it is a pretty straightforward question, and its answer as well. Like if I will be saying that, answer should be yes, your organization is entitled to have more than one directory. Or in the settings on the Azure AD, if you will be going, there will be option to, if you want to create more directory, there will be option of manage tenant. and you can create or add more tenant or create a tenant. Okay, so that is going to be there. And when you are doing this, you can create more than one tenant as well. So let's say what would be this scenario. Generally I give this example in my sessions as well, that why someone would be requiring the your multiple tenant. Let's say that you were a big organization. Okay, so you were let's say that you're a very big organization like Facebook, Microsoft, Google, right? Okay, or any other easy Fortune 500 organization. For example, let's just take the example of KPMG. And let's say that you are having your own employees and their records, their identities are under with the one Active Directory. And you go ahead and you just simply uh, go ahead and acquire one startup. Okay, this is the startup one. You acquire the another startup. So the identity related to those organization you want to keep separate. Okay, not the part of your main Active Directory which was there by default in the first part. So you can create second directory, third directory. All the users related to that startup will be part of this. Another users which is related to the another startup, those will be under the another of your directory. So this is the one use case scenario where you can simply use the Azure Active Directory, right? So this is a simple I would say case scenario where you can use multiple directory, but yes, you are entitled to have more than one Azure Active Directory. So thank you for joining us. I hope you learned some new thing through our sessions, and we will be bringing more question in this series. We will be bringing more concept to you through our InfosecTrain channel in the YouTube. So make sure you are liking it, subscribing it, share it with all the person who need to learn new concept. Your family, your friend who want to improve their knowledge, they are looking for any job change or anything, they want to do the certificate, bring them to this particular channel. We will try to help them. And if you have more doubt, you want to do the certification, corporate training, just contact us on this particular detail itself, and you can visit our website. We'll be helping you out. You can contact me on my LinkedIn using the same name, Rishabh Kotial, and you can, I'll be helping you over there as well. So be safe, be energetic, keep learning, keep everyone around you safe, and best of luck for your future. So we'll see you in our next video.